betrayal was that Harry walked away. He was born to a life of privilege, but a life of duty as well. He walked away from it. He walked away from it.
Should I tell you why he walked away? Because it took marrying a biracial woman for him to realise how racist the institution he was in. He thought, no, you cannot deny.
This is so wrong.
Nigel, how can you deny the racism? How?
Do you know how? Very simple. I think they had an absolute fairy tale wedding. I think the country took to them. In the early months, as she toured in Brixton and wherever else it was,
she did a great job.
The tabloid media, everyone was behind them. They chose.
Until when?
They chose to go to the other side of the world.
No, but why? Because they were being bullied. They were constantly being harassed. Yes, you may say the country took to them, but actually the minute a biracial woman wasn't as subservient as in white spaces, as soon as Meghan wasn't the person you wanted her to be, and a strong black woman, that was it. People had enough.
Most people
and they went in for the daggers.
I don't think people didn't even regard her as black when she first came on the scene.
Well, a biracial woman, they didn't regard her as a woman of colour.
But by the way, whatever's been point here is this. I'm beginning to wonder whether media commentators, myself included, have spent too much time talking about Meghan and not enough time talking about Harry. It's Harry that has betrayed his own family. Now, his claim, his defence, at every twist and turn of this, his defence is that the palace have been continually leaking stories to the press.
But so are you saying he's lying?
There's no evidence of it.
Oh, there is evidence. It's on the documentaries. If you watch it, there is evidence.
There's no evidence.
They blank out the names. But so you're saying Harry, who's served this country for 10 years, 3 tours
of
Afghan,
you're
saying he's now suddenly a liar. How is he suddenly a liar? Why don't you like his narrative? Why don't the British public want to hear, actually, my wife suffered racism and bullying? Why don't you want to hear that? Incredibly difficult. They were being thrown, as Meghan said, not thrown, fed. Stories were purposely being leaked.
Why?
Purposely being
what was the motivation?
Shall I tell you, Prince William and Kate Middleton, jealousy. Meghan and Harry were so popular, and I think there was jealousy. And Prince Charles, King Charles the Cruel, why hasn't he spoken to his son? Why hasn't he protected his son?
Well, actually,
why didn't they come out
more relevant?
Hey, wonderful people. Before we jump in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you love honest takes, because here, we proudly stand up for Harry and Meghan. Warm welcome to the channel. Today, we're diving headfirst into one of the spiciest, most talked about showdowns. Yep, the saga that just won't quit. Meghan and Prince Harry and the ever-so-touchy British royal family. So buckle up, because this one, it's a roller coaster. And let me tell you, we are here today, loud and proud, to throw all our support behind the incredible Narinder Kaur. Absolute queen. She stood her ground live on TV, right there in front of Mr. Nigel Farage himself. Yes, that Nigel. Standing up for Harry and Meghan and calling out the blatant racism and media bullying they've endured. Seriously, Narinder, we were cheering so loud at home I think the neighbors heard us. So go ahead, pour that tea, grab a glass of wine, or hey, some popcorn, and settle in. We're unpacking why Meghan and Harry deserve so much better, why Narinder's voice is so needed right now, and how this whole royal soap opera is exposing deep-rooted issues in the monarchy and beyond. Let's get into it. Now picture this. Live on national TV, Nigel Farage looking like he's about to burst a blood vessel, going after Meghan and Harry like it's his personal mission. He's throwing out the same old accusations, betraying royal tradition, bringing shame, demanding their titles be yanked faster than sweets from a toddler's hand. Oh, Nigel, haven't we heard this tired act before? How dare they speak their truth? How dare they call out racism? How dare they expose the royal family's cracks? And then, bam, Narinder steps in, cool as ice, strong, composed. She stares Nigel right in the eye and hits back with pure facts, calmly reminding the world that Harry and Meghan had every right to step away from the madness, every right to call out systemic racism, every right to protect their mental health and build a new life far away from the tabloid circus. And let's be real, Narinder wasn't just speaking for Harry and Meghan. No, she was standing for truth. For everyone who's faced bullying, racism, harassment, royal or not. And for that, Narinder, we salute you. Legends like you give us hope. Now let's cut to the core. Why did Harry and Meghan step back? If you followed the story and not just skimmed the gossip rags while waiting in line at the coffee shop, you know the answer. They were hounded, plain and simple, day after day. Racist headlines, toxic columns, and absolutely no protection from the firm. Imagine waking up every morning to garbage headlines like "Straight Outta Compton," Meghan's background, her identity, relentlessly attacked. All because she's a strong, modern, biracial woman who dared to marry a prince. How outrageous! Harry saw it, and it terrified him. He knew exactly where this road would lead. He watched it all happen to his mother, Princess Diana, and there was no way he was going to sit back and let it happen again. So as a husband, a father, a man, he chose to protect his wife and children. Now that's not betrayal. That's called being a good human. And honestly, who wouldn't have done the same? If you say you wouldn't, we need to have a little chat. And oh, the media. What a two-faced beast. Let's be honest. They thrive on scandal, twisting stories, selling drama by the bucket load. Of course, Harry and Meghan used interviews and documentaries. They had no choice but to reclaim their voices. In a sea of lies, sometimes you have to shout to be heard. But of course, the tabloids cry, hypocrisy, whenever Meghan so much as breathes in public. Oh, please, the irony is thicker than royal fruitcake. The sad truth is, parts of the media feast on division. And Harry and Meghan, they scare the old guard because they represent change, progress, a new way forward. And right at the heart of this storm, race. Meghan's presence in that palace ruffled feathers from day one. A biracial woman marrying a prince? Gasp. Some folks just couldn't handle it. The whispers, the coded comments, the outright hostility, it exposed just how far the monarchy still has to go. They can say they're modern all they want, but those deep-rooted biases, still alive and kicking. The royal institution still struggles with difference, and Britain, as a whole, still has work to do. Because this isn't just about Harry and Meghan. This is about who gets to belong, who gets to be heard, who gets to shake up old power structures. And in that battle, Harry and Meghan are true trailblazers. They chose authenticity. They chose well-being. They chose family over outdated rules. Which brings us right back to Narinder Kaur. Narinder, what a powerhouse. Her voice matters more than ever. Standing on live TV, face-to-face with Nigel Farage, taking no nonsense, that takes guts. She didn't waver, didn't flinch, and spoke up for every single person who's tired of seeing Meghan dragged through the mud. She's out there demanding justice, speaking truth. And folks, we need more Narinders in this world. Now, the monarchy? It's wobbling. Big time. Stuck at a fork in the road. Will they cling to those dusty old traditions, or finally step into the 21st century? Because if they don't, well, they'll be about as relevant as a floppy disk. Harry and Meghan's exit was the warning bell. Will the royals listen? Only time will tell. What's clear is this. Harry and Meghan are forging their own path, with heart, with purpose, with integrity. And thanks to voices like Narinder's, this conversation, far from over. And remember, this isn't just about royal gossip. It's a reflection of how society treats those who challenge the status quo. How we treat Harry and Meghan mirrors how we treat anyone who faces hate, racism, and bullying. If we can't defend them, how can we defend anyone? Because in the end, all the titles, the palaces, the jewels, they mean nothing if they're used to prop up injustice. Meghan and Harry are proof that change is possible, even when the old guard clings to the past. And let's be real. If one wedding and a couple of interviews can send the establishment into meltdown, maybe they need to ask themselves why they're so fragile. And if a few hard truths make palace windows rattle and certain TV hosts spiral on air, well, maybe it's time we turn up the volume. Sometimes a good shake-up is exactly what's needed. And honestly, all Harry and Meghan want is peace, love, and to raise their kids in a safe, happy home. Is that really too much to ask? Meanwhile, some outlets act like they've committed high treason for moving to California. Sunshine and freedom. The horror. And let's face it, all that energy spent trashing Meghan and Harry might be better spent fixing real issues inside the palace. But hey, scapegoats are always easier than change, right? And another thing, can we please stop with the "oh, Meghan knew what she was getting into" nonsense? No one signs up for abuse. No one marries for love thinking, gee, can't wait to get ripped apart by the press. Please, spare us. And haven't we seen this story before? A woman of color enters a traditionally white space. Suddenly she's difficult, disruptive, too opinionated. The same old tired tropes. We saw it with Meghan. We've seen it in politics, media, you name it. And here's the truth. Harry standing by Meghan doesn't make him weak. It makes him strong. It makes him the kind of ally this world needs more of. If protecting your wife is controversial, then society has some serious soul-searching to do. So let's keep standing tall. Let's keep supporting Meghan, Harry, and fierce truth-tellers like Narinder Kaur. Let's keep this conversation alive, because when people speak up, change happens. And goodness knows, we need more of that today. And if you stand with Meghan, Harry, and incredible voices like Narinder's, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe for more real talk, and drop your thoughts down below. You know we read them all. And always remember, no crown, no throne, no crusty old tabloid can silence the truth. Let's keep speaking out, let's keep challenging injustice, and let's do it with humor, heart, and a good splash of courage. Until next time, take care, spread some kindness, and stay absolutely fabulous.